I made this video yesterday but deleted it because I realized some of the information that I had in it was wrong, specifically the age group of millennials. Regardless, I'm going to show you this video again, and then we're going to come back and we're going to discuss this.
This is a question for my over 50 managers, department heads, VPs, C-suite execs. I met with my colleagues last night. There's 5 of us. We're all over 50. We're all in managerial and above level positions. And we are all in the hiring game. We all onboard. We all recruit. We all look for talent. And I want to know, is anybody else having the troubles that we are with getting these millennial 20 to 33-year-old professionals to work a full day with urgency, complete projects, submit them on time, have high quality work and see problems to solve without a directive? Imagine seeing a problem, determining what the solution is, taking care of it without a directive. Is the trash falling out of the trash can? Do you change it? Curious if this is just us, or is this all around? Is it worldwide, United States wide, whatever? I want to hear from you.
No, it's not just you. It's the new norm. I'm 50. You said you and your friends are in their 50s, and you're all management level. I'm going to be 53 next month. May 13th, 1972 is when I was born, and I rose through the ranks of landscaping to ultimately become a project manager. My wife rose through the ranks of the agricultural exporting industry to become a facility manager. And we did it by carrying the same work mentality I'm imagining as you carried, right? The work mentality that we had, that was instilled into us by our boomer and silent generation parents, were you keep your head down, you grind, you do your work, you go above and beyond at your job, you do your job and some, you stay late, you show up early, you come in on weekends, you become an invaluable member of the team, and you're going to rise to the ranks. And we did. You're a manager. I was a project manager before I had my own company. My wife was a facility manager. She ran 2 facilities in a field where women don't run facilities at all. And we did so by having that old school mentality. Having said that, how far did we rise? Right? I mean, my wife had a good job. You're a manager, but we're all still making money. We were all still making money for other people, right? We were making other people rich by giving them hours upon hours upon hours of our life, right? Not 40 hours a week, 50, 60, 65 hours a week, just pouring ourselves into our jobs because we wanted to be that invaluable, indispensable member of the team. And while it got us ahead, it didn't get us where it should have gotten us. It made other people a lot of money. And so then you see what happened throughout the course of time since then, right? We tried to pass that information on to the next generation. The next generation, the oldest versions of the next generations, tried that stuff, and it didn't get them ahead. It got them to the point where they still can't afford to buy a house in many cases. It got them to the point where they're overloaded with college debt, and they're just kind of shackled to their jobs so that they can make sure that they pay that debt down, so forth and so on. And then we had the whole pandemic, right, where we told the people who make the least amount of money among us, you need to be invaluable, you need to be indispensable, you need to show up, we got to keep the country moving. Take them their orders, just put it in their car, don't interact with them, but we need you here. And when that all came and went, they all turned to their employers and said, hey, how about low reward, for what we did to keep things moving. And the corporations and the companies said, nah, there isn't going to be any of that. There certainly isn't going to be any legislation for a living wage, and so forth and so on. And so the younger generations, specifically the Gen Z generations and the younger millennials, are saying to their employers, are saying with not just their words but their actions, you're going to pay me for this, and I'm going to do this. That's it. That's how you're going to pay me this to do this, so I'm going to do that. If you want me to do that, then you need to pay me that. See, what you're talking about in your video is not only people doing their jobs, which is what you need to do when you have a job. You need to do what you're being paid to do, but you're talking about going above and beyond, right? You're talking about people being able to spot things and handle them without a directive. And I'll bet in many cases you're going to find that most of those people can recognize and figure out a way to handle situations. Now, you use trash overflowing, but we all know that it's much bigger than that. Most of these people can identify and can figure out how to solve these problems, but they're saying to themselves, why? I'm not getting any more money for it. I'm making you look good. I'm making the company more money, and I'm not getting paid any more money for it. So you want people to think and act like a manager without paying them like a manager. If you want them to act and think like a manager, then make them a fucking manager. Pay them like a manager, and you'll see that they can be a manager. You want them to do the job first in the hopes that they're going to get rewarded for it later on. This generation isn't playing that fucking game. They're not doing what we did. They're not going to tie themselves to a company for the better part of 4 to 5 decades, working their ass off well above 40 hours a week, missing time with their family, missing dance recitals and softball games and art projects and plays and things of that nature to make sure that the boss makes more money while they don't get ahead. They're not going to do that. If you want people to go above and beyond, pay them to go above and beyond. But if you expect people to go above and beyond without getting paid for going above and beyond, you're dealing with the wrong generations. You might as well look for some more 50-year-olds because that's all you're going to find that are going to be willing to do that anymore.